Hi, so in this video, what we are going to do is we're going to learn how to convert fractions and decimals on a number line. I know earlier in the school year, you learn how to convert your fractions and your decimals, okay? So this is basically what we're doing, but we're going to add it onto the number line, okay? So what you are going to do, let's look at the first one. What we need to do is we need to convert our fractions into decimals, okay? So we have 30 over 100. And 30 over 100 is simply changing my fraction into a decimal. So I have 30 over 100. So I know that my 30 will be in the hundredths place. So after the decimal. So I have 30 hundredths. Okay? So that would be 0.30. So I put 0.30 in here, which is 30 hundredths. And you can say it just like that, 30 hundredths, right? Now converting my 40 over 100. That means I'm changing it into a decimal. So I will put 0.40 hundredths. This is my tenths. This is my hundredths. My decimals is in the hundredths. So that would be 0.40. Okay? Whoops. I did too much there. Let me put my point, okay? 0.40, okay? And then my 50 hundredths. So I would change that and put that into my decimal place. So I put it in the hundredths place. So 0.50. That would basically simply change to 0.50 hundredths, okay? That's how you would say it, 0.50 hundredths, just like that. Now I'm putting it inside my box. And next, 60 hundredths. 60 over 100 is you would change it to 0.60 hundredths. You have to know your place value when you are doing this, especially after the decimal. You have to know your place value after decimal. You have your tenths, you have your hundredths, you have your thousandths. But right now we're talking about our hundredths. So my decimal place would be in the hundredths, as you can see here. So this would be 0.60. Okay? And the last one is 70 over 100. I know that my decimal place will be in the hundredths because my denominator is hundredths. So that would be 70 hundredths. Right? So that would be 0.70. Okay? Now, let's look at here. So now we have our fractions. We have our decimals, and we need to convert our decimals into fractions. So I see that my decimal is in the hundredths place. Okay? My decimal is in the hundredths place. It's in the hundredths place. So I would know automatically that my denominator would be 100. So I know my denominator is 100 because my decimal is in the hundredths place. So I'll put 100. And then my number, what is my number? My number is 25. So my fraction would be 25 over 100. Okay? So I would write that in here, 25 over 100. Okay? I'm going to do two more. So again, we know that my decimal place is in the hundredths place. So that means that my denominator is 100. And what is my number? My number is 35. Okay? So that means that my numerator would be 35. And that's simply 35 over 100. Okay? So that you would basically do that for all of the decimals that you have on this number line. Know that your decimal is in the hundredths place. So you would change your denominator to 100. And then you would just simply put that number, which is 45, as your numerator. I hope this video helps. You can always come back to complete your assignment.